Maya Marie here. It snowed pretty bad last night here in Colorado, so just threw on a nice Victoria's Secret sweater, pink. Grabbed my body pillow, and I'm gonna get started with the video. So today my video is about what not to say to individuals who have bad acne. So obviously you can tell, I don't know if you can tell because my lighting is acting all weird. You could kind of see I have acne. I have acne. That's not a surprise if you've seen any of my other videos. You've seen me without makeup, you've seen me with makeup, you know, you've seen me. So, I have a few things, like a list of things not to say and a list of things not to do. And I have it all written down on this right here because I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while, but it just keeps slipping my mind, and there are like a couple individual like phrases or sentences that like will trigger me to remember something else, you know. So I just wrote it down. It's okay. That's okay. We don't need to be, you know, mind readers. We don't need to remember everything. I'm a human being. So I'm just put this aside so it's not too distracting. Anyways, oh, I hate this lighting. Why does it keep getting so bright? Like, this is the lowest setting too. So anyways, what not to say is don't ask questions like, what's wrong with your face? I don't know. What's wrong with it? Can you tell me? Because when I looked in the mirror this morning, I looked normal to me. Like, what's wrong with it? That phrase. I heard that specific phrase at my old job. I worked in assisted living. I was a personal care provider. I will have more stories on that because it was a total shit show regarding my coworkers. The residents were awesome. I love the elderly. I love helping the elderly. But that's another story. But yeah. I just lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I heard that at my old job, and that was from the mouth of an elderly woman who was about maybe 70 to 90, so I didn't take that so personally. I was just kind of shocked, like I was fucking shook. But yeah, it's mostly like elderly people or kids, and you can't get mad at either one because the elderly, they're old, provided the fact that maybe they had acne. That's kind of a thought, but you know, they're old, and little kids are little kids. You'll have some someday. But anyways, that's two of the things that kind of go hand in hand. Like, don't just be like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with your face? What's on your face? Any of that, just don't fucking say that. Because trust me, that person did look in the mirror before they left and they saw that. Did they care? Maybe, maybe not. We're gonna get to that. So another thing is, do you wash your face? Of course I wash my face, motherfucker. I don't just go around with fucking greasy ass skin every day. I mean, it's not like I take a shower and like, oh, can't wash my face, so let me put like a hairnet on my face so it doesn't get wet. Like, of course I wash my face. That's the first thing you do when you have acne, or just in general, so that your skin isn't oily, you know? I have very dry skin. That's part of my problem with my acne, is because my face doesn't really moisturize and I break out. So, another thing is, do you wear, or why do you wear makeup that doesn't help your acne? This used to irritate me. I just think like, yeah, I know it doesn't help with my acne, but I just want a few hours of pretending like I don't have it. Like it's not there. Like it does not exist. You know, especially when I was in like middle school and high school, I honestly hated, I wouldn't say I hated myself, but I did have so many insecurities. That was probably number one. My acne was number one because I've had acne since I was in the 5th grade. Um, so obviously there were kids, bullies of, oh, she's ugly, she's got a pizza face, whatever. Um, Now that I look back at it, I'm like, okay, I know that they were insecure with who they are. That's why they, bullied me. But back then, that really hurts a kid. Like, that really, there were things that people said when I was like a kid that I still remember now. And because it just, words stick with you. I've never been bullied to the point where people pushed me or anything like that. So I'm not like an advocate for bullying or anything. But words do stay in people's minds. You have to remember that, and you have to realize that when you say things to people, like, just because you don't like the way they look, that's okay. They're not on this earth for you. God didn't put them on this earth for you to look at and be like, wow, she's pretty, or he's attractive, or I want to date that person. That's not what they're made for. So just keep your opinions to yourself, basically. I mean, adults really shouldn't need to be told that. No one really need to be told that, except when they're little kids. You gotta teach your kids that. But so the next thing is about dieting and drinking water. I personally asked a doctor if my acne was due to my diet. She said no. It is not. It was, for me personally, it wasn't. I had it on my T-zone, so right here and on my forehead, which is basically why I wear bangs. Here's the little thing, a little like tidbit about me. I don't wear foundation on my forehead when I have my bangs down because I have my bangs down. No one's really gonna see it. So, because I used to have, it started off on my T-zone really bad. I had a lot on my chin. Now it's mostly just my cheeks. My forehead isn't that bad. Don't look at my eyebrows. But my forehead isn't that bad. But yeah. She said it wasn't like my diet because I used to eat chips, and I still like chips and stuff like that, but I used to eat pretty bad to where my weight kind of fluctuated back and forth. But it has nothing to do with diet. However, I do know that I do need to start eating better just for my overall health, and I need to drink more water for my overall health. So that's not something that someone needs to tell me to do. Just saying. I mean, some people you might agree and might, like that sort of, comment. I personally do not. I know what I gotta do. You don't need to tell me. So now we're going to get on to things you should not do around a person who has acne. You shouldn't stare. I'm pretty sure your mom has taught you that that's not polite. You shouldn't talk bad about somebody just because they have acne. We are all people. We are human beings. We have feelings. We cry, we hurt. We're human beings. Like, just because you have acne doesn't make you weird or, different. You might look a little different from somebody else who doesn't have acne, who has, good skin, but that doesn't mean they're better than you. But, see, now I sound like a preacher or something. But the bottom line is, just don't stare at people. I mean, I'm at the age of 18, and when I don't wear makeup, everyone thinks I'm like 15 because of my acne, and probably not just because of my acne, it's probably because of my face shape, but also it's mostly because of my acne. I've had people tell me I look like I'm 12. When I went to Chicago to get my nails done, I didn't have makeup on, and she was shocked that I was engaged. She was like, oh no, you look like you're 12. Like, No, I'm not, but it's whatever. So people do. I'm not gonna lie. I have, looked at people and I've judged them on their appearance at first glance. That's just how everyone is. That's common nature. But you can't just sit there and be like, oh, well, that person's ugly because I have acne. I would never even think about looking at them twice because I have acne. I'm not gonna even be their friend. It's not a contagious disease. You cannot get acne. I mean, everyone can get acne here and there, but it's not like, oh, you hang around me and now you're gonna get acne tomorrow. Like, it's not contagious. You don't need to act like that. You don't need to be a dick, basically. So, another thing is, don't ask people if they didn't ask you, don't ask or don't tell people products that they should use to clear up their skin. The number one product that people always tell me or ask me if I've ever used is Proactive. Yes, I've used Proactive. That was my very first medication that I've used, and it fucked up my skin. I have a lot of scarring. Probably cannot see this because my light is acting up, but I have a lot of scarring, one from Proactive, two from picking at my skin, because I just hated bumps, I hated whiteheads, I hated, just elevated, acne, but that's why I have scars. But yes, I have used Proactive, so don't tell me, oh, you should use Proactive, but because that's really fucking annoying. I do ask a lot of people, what do you use? I like to watch videos. I like to look up natural remedies for acne because I don't want to put like a whole bunch of chemicals on my face. That could just make it worse, like Proactive did. Just basically don't tell people how to treat their skin because you're not them. Some things may work for you but not work for somebody else. So unless people ask, like I said, I've asked multiple people, what do you use, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. So don't give advice. Don't give your 2 cents if it's not asked for. Another thing is, one time at my old job at what's it called? My mind totally went blank. At my, went blank again. The job I was just talking about, the assisted living. I had a cook write me an anonymous letter with scientific facts of why I have acne, what I shouldn't eat and what I should eat, and what I should put on my face. It was anonymous, so someone just handed me a letter with my name on it. First of all, I thought I was getting fired. I was shitted. But I read it, and it had all that on there, and I was like, who the fuck would write this? Like, what the fuck? Because at the beginning of my job, I did wear foundation to work, but I quickly realized that it's just going to be sweated out after 2 hours of hard labor at that job because you're running all around the building, and that's not good for your skin either. Like, you're sweating and it's getting into your pores. That's not good. So I just said, fuck it, I'm not here to make friends. If people think, oh, she's gross looking, I don't want to be your friend, fuck them. I mean, we're all adults here anyways, but fuck them. If, anyone thinks, oh, she's not attractive, oh, well, I'm in a stable relationship. I'm engaged, honey, so I don't need no suitors or anyone to be lusting after me. I'm engaged. And also, I'm 18 years old. I'm not as insecure as I was when I was in high school and middle school. I do have my insecurities. I do fluctuate back and forth between my good and bad days, but that's just me. I'm a female, for one. I'm moody as fuck. Society has a lot of influence on girls, like what's attractive and what's not. So I can't, even at 18 years old, I'm still young, and I can't just, I'm a badass bitch every day, I have my ups and downs, but I'm a lot better than I used to be in how I look at myself. I'm a lot less critical. I don't critique every little thing in the mirror anymore, and I'm happy. But there are still people still in that stage of, you know what, looking in the mirror, oh, I look bad today, or oh wow, I broke out last night, I look horrible, no one's ever gonna like me. It doesn't matter their age. It doesn't matter their age. So you just need to be careful on what you say and how you act around people, just with anything, like people with their weight, people with, anything that, because for me, I can't help my acne. I've tried everything I can. It just keeps coming. It just keeps coming. So it's not something I can just bam and wish away. When it's things that people can't really help, you just need to keep your opinions to yourself. That would have definitely helped me if people did that when I was like in middle school. I didn't really get bullied in high school, but in middle school, yeah, that would have helped me a lot if people just knew how to mind their own business and keep their shit to themselves. But you know what? That was how many years ago? Like, I've almost been graduated from high school for about a year. So that's over 5, 6, 7 years since I've been bullied. So I really don't give a fuck anymore. So I'm at that point where I'm good with myself. Like I said, there are some things I'm working on, some things I'm like, oh, some days I'm like, oh, that needs to change. But the next day I'm like, bitch, that's fine. You're good. Move on to the next thing, But again, please be mindful of what you say around people, what you say to people. You never know, like, how somebody's feeling that day, or even in general how they feel about themselves, So yeah, basically I think that's it. Yeah, just don't be an asshole. Period. Like, don't be an asshole to people. Like, some people like me, they can't really change it. It just keeps coming. Like, it's life. You just gotta roll with the punches, but don't be the asshole that punches people. Just saying.